Yesterday I moved the front bag to the back because I had a strong headwind and I wanted to see how that worked. And it did help, not a whole lot, probably half to 1 mile an hour, which adds up. But today I have a side or rear quartering wind, so I have it back up in its normal position in the front. This is Bob.
Hey, how you guys doing? I just met Bruce from Tampa. Where are you going today, Bruce?
I am heading to Tulsa. Fairly short ride. Bob's the first bagger I've seen since Ohio, so it's been a lonely biking route.
Yeah, we got to sing songs to ourselves as we're going along.
Near Catoosa and ran into Bob, the first through biker I've seen since Ohio, and he asked if I'd seen the Catoosa blue whale, which is one of the most famous sites on Route 66, and neither of us had, so I stopped and it looks like it's off the bicycle route, which surprises me, but so I'm going 1.75 miles off route to go see the Catoosa blue whale. I should add 1.75 miles times 2 to see the blue whale of Catoosa.
The blue whale of Catoosa was built in 1972 by Hugh Davis, and before Hugh Davis actually got his start as a zookeeper at the Tulsa Zoo. And after he finished at the Tulsa Zoo in the early 60s, he started a zoo over here with alligators and reptiles and snakes. And then in 1970, he began constructing the blue whale. His friend welded the frame, and then Hugh spent 2 years from 1970 and 1972 hand mixing buckets of concrete and bringing them down here, built him in place on the water. And then after 1972, it was a swim park until 1988. And then he fell into disrepair and has since been brought back, and now he's the beautiful whale you see today.
And you're going to demonstrate the slide and diving off the tail?
Yes, here I go.
Okay. Going into the mouth of the whale, the big blue whale of Catoosa, Oklahoma. The ride into Tulsa was probably, I don't know, 12 miles or so of either residential city streets or a bike lane. And there is Tulsa, but I'm turning left and going down the Midland Valley Trail. Route 66 in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Here is the big driller in Tulsa, Oklahoma, with a t-shirt for the local rock radio station. Thank you, Kristen and Eric, for your wonderful hospitality and a great place to stay in Tulsa, and we'll see you in March in Florida. So Tulsa has this beautiful trail right along the Arkansas River. And all kinds of basketball courts, and pickleball courts. It's like they're getting ready to have a kayaking course out in the river. That's back a little bit, but the river's pretty low right now. Very neat city. I really like Tulsa. Looks very livable. The Arkansas River in the background in Tulsa. It's pretty low. Looks like a great place to go play in the sand. This is the hiking and biking trail between Tulsa, Oklahoma behind me and Jenks, Oklahoma in front of me. Going over the Arkansas River, which is pretty low. Really have some beautiful trails in this town. Well, there's my route. The train was going the other way, now it just started going backwards. Think I can sneak under there real quick? Just kidding, Mom. Well, the cars behind me already turned around and left. And I think I'm going to do the same thing, just go through the streets of Sapulpa, Oklahoma, rather than kind of skirt the outskirts of it. I'm back 3 blocks to the other route, and it was 4 lanes, very busy with 0 shoulder and a big vertical curve, which didn't make me comfortable. So we'll just wait a little bit, and now that's going forward where it originally was. Now it's stopped again, so I'm going with plan D, which I think I can go back about a half a mile and cross the railroad track and come back. Now I'm in plan E, which is really plan B, because he's going backwards, and this time I think he's going all the way. So I don't have to back up after all. And I am through. Here's my campsite in Bristow, Oklahoma. Over there is Route 66. And here's the RV park that it's connected to. Well, Oklahoma isn't always flat, but it's been pretty flat. I'm in Stroud, Oklahoma. I've heard of mini golf, but this looks like micro golf. And this is the famous Rock Cafe, made even more famous by the movie Cars, which I have not seen yet. I was gonna have lunch here, but I think they're closed. And here's the very cute little town of Stroud, Oklahoma. Look at all the old well drilling equipment. Vote for Will Fine. That's a pretty cool name. I just not sure it's a great name if you're running for public office. I've probably gone by him before, but there's my first working oil well that I noticed. Hey, there's a couple oil wells up close and personal. Chandler in Oklahoma City, and it's had some of the worst shoulder I've seen. Well, I haven't had a road closed sign for a while, and I think I'm batting 3 for 3 for being able to get through with my bicycle, so I'm going for it. And I'm about a quarter mile down the road. Actually, it looks like I'm just going to merge onto what I would have had to do anyway. I did save a little bit of distance. I think I'm good. Once again, 4-0 on road closed signs. Okay, Jerry, Oklahoma's not really that flat. There are some other bikers on Route 66. I don't quite know what this is. It almost looks like a private, this is John's place. Beautiful parking center, arrows. There hadn't been anything for miles and miles, and all of a sudden there's a ton of cars in this parking lot for the Chicken Shack in Arcadia, which is kind of on the outskirts of Edmond in Oklahoma City. But it was a huge restaurant. Rambled on and on. And there is the Arcadia Round Barn. So we're at Pop's, the famous Pop's. I'm on my way to have some kind of exotic pop. There are just, I don't know how many, hundreds, thousands of kinds of pops. Lots of candy. And donuts and everything else. My cherry selection. Something healthy. They have some fruit cups there. Well, I'm enjoying my Filbert's Blue Raspberry Soda here at Pop's in Arcadia, Oklahoma. Filbert says since 1926, although I've never heard of them, but their Blue Raspberry is pretty good. Not too bad. And this is Arcadia Lake in Edmond, Oklahoma. Very nice campground. I asked for a campsite with some grass on it, fairly close to the showers. I don't see any grass, but I guess I have an air mattress. We'll go right here on the asphalt. pretty dusty everywhere else. Good morning from Arcadia Lake in Edmond, Oklahoma. This is the campground where I camped last night, just outside of Oklahoma City. It's a city-owned campground with RV sites and tent camping. I'm laying in my tent, watching the squirrel run around right above me. Very cool tree here. There's an even cooler one back here. Jerry, Edmond is not flat either. And there's my stop for today. Thank you, John Odgers. So I'm with Jerry's friend John Odgers in Oklahoma City, and Jill came up, who is my sister-in-law. Outlaw, and surprised, and more surprised, brought brother-in-law John, who did not expect. And she came bearing gifts of Hendrick's gin and tonic and homemade rolls, and all is good in Oklahoma City.
She hasn't even been here in 30 minutes and she's already making drinks.
Awesome. So what do you think there, Murphy?
World famous Cattlemen Café. Some of the best steaks in town.
Okay.
All right, you're live.
We have,
not Memorex.
we're at the Cattlemen Steakhouse in Oklahoma City. This is a lamb fry, also known as a lamb testicle. And shrimp sauce, kind of tastes like shrimp.
Today we're visiting the memorial for the Oklahoma bombing that occurred in 1995. There's a reflecting pool here in the middle that used to be 5th Street, which is where the Timothy McVeigh parked his van, and the Borough building was originally to my right where the chairs are currently. On one end, on the east end, it says 901. That is intended to represent the minute of innocence prior to the blast at 902, and then on the other end it says 903, which is to represent the minute at which the healing process began.
The bombing was in 1995, and you can see the different chairs, but the short chairs are for children, and there was a child care on the 2nd floor, so a lot of them are on the 2nd floor, and there's a few others scattered throughout for all the different floors. Hi, Jill.
Hi, Bruce. We're at the Botanical Garden.
So this is Bricktown in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. With John and Jill. It's a cool little canal. Oh, look at this. Trendy place for us young people. Trappers has 300 bourbons. Great place. Brother-in-law Matt recommended it.
Bikes America.
Hey. Welcome to Trappers in Oklahoma City. And my new friend. Matt, we're at the Bourbon Bar, Trappers. Thanks for the suggestion. Great idea.